And for more on this, let's bring in the father of Parkland victor, Jaime Guttenberg. Fred Guttenberg joins me now. Fred, thank you for being here. I know it's a tough day, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Sure.
Talk to me about yesterday. What was it like being in court, hearing the jury's decision come down for life without parole instead of the death penalty?
You know, I said yesterday in the immediate aftermath that I've spent the past, almost 5 years now preparing myself physically and mentally for this day, for yesterday, to hear that verdict. And yet I expected to hear the death penalty. I just didn't see any way it could have been any other way. As much as I thought I was prepared, I wasn't. I found myself in shock and in disbelief, in anger, disgusted. Justice wasn't delivered, and the system again failed my family and 16 others.
Now, you say that you think this decision will make it more likely that someone will try to do this again. Can you expand on that?
Listen, we learned in this trial how engaged my daughter's killer was in understanding other mass shootings and what happened. The next mass shooter is paying attention to this one. The next mass shooter now has a roadmap, not only to commit violence, but how to ensure they avoid final judgment. If ever there was a case for the death penalty, this one was it. The aggravators were proved in court by the state attorneys. This person is evil. He will always be nothing but evil. He sits in his prison cell now thinking about how he wished he could commit other murders. And so, yes, I fear people who have evil in their hearts now don't fear judgment.
And Fred, you said it was proven in court, these aggravating factors. The jury said as much. Every aggravating factor that the prosecution argued, the jury found yes to. But you had these 3 jurors apparently that found the mitigating factors, things like his mental health issues, outweighed that in terms of whether or not he should get the death penalty. Did that help you at all to hear the jury confirm that at least even within this decision, that they did find that those aggravating factors, things like the heinous nature of this crime, were proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
No. In fact, the more I hear about what happened in the jury room, the more concerned I get. And it sounds like there's now some calls for an investigation. It appears one of the jurors may have had a mind made up long ago. And I sat through almost every day of that trial with those jurors. And if I wasn't there sitting, I was watching it later on. So I heard every word that they heard. And the defense did not prove its case, but it does sound as if one juror had a mind made up. 2 other jurors were movable and ultimately joined the one juror in that decision, because all it takes is one person. It has to be unanimous. So I'm concerned about what happened in the jury room. I'm concerned that one juror wasn't actually moved by the mitigating circumstances. They already planned to vote no.
And I do know that one juror, I believe, wrote a letter to the judge saying that they did have an open mind the whole time, sort of refuting that was the case for them at least. But of course, this is something the attorneys are going to parse through. But Fred, I know you made an impact statement in court, a very emotional one. What was it like to face this suspect in court, and where do you go from here?
You know, being in the room with him was surreal because I wish death on him. I do. He killed my daughter. I visit my daughter in a cemetery. The impact statements we delivered were not so much about him. They were about the impact on us. In fact, we are required by law to not talk really about him, to not even refer to him as the killer or the murderer, to not talk about what happened in the crime. We were not allowed to do any of that. We had to keep the focus on the impact on us. The good news is on sentencing day, we will get another chance to speak again. And we can, on that day, directly address him and tell him what we think of him. And I plan to do so.
All right, Fred Guttenberg, we appreciate your time today. No parent should have to go through what you went through and are going through. We appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.